awesome. And I think you always give a very fair interview. I mean, it goes viral, so maybe that's why they don't want any more attention.
I mean, like, I think
Not-
even if I said we don't have to talk about housewives, I mean, granted, then what's the point? I mean,
I know.
are
You
we
have
gonna?
to
I
know.
mean, does anyone? I mean, guys, I'm sure this audience. Do you want to hear 30 minutes of Alex and her advanced degree? Maybe. But it doesn't matter. Alex does not want to come on the podcast. She doesn't want to come on anything. She just doesn't want to talk about it. What else? Anything else keeping you up at
Yes.
night?
What do you think?
Tell me.
Why do you think Kathryn Dennis from Southern Charm had like 2 black eyes? And can you walk me through this? My understanding is she kind of shows up to film with these 2 black eyes. She's on record as saying, I can't discuss it. So nobody knows, was this a domestic incident? Did she hurt herself? Was this a plastic surgery procedure that needed extra time to heal? Like, nobody knows. And then my understanding is they were all supposed to film a scene together and the production wouldn't let her film because of her black eyes. Am I getting this correct?
That's pretty much a lot of it is correct. Yeah, it's just, and she's missing. She's also missing. She's been missing from events. She's missing from that one of the cast trips she wasn't on.
That was
Yeah, Shep, I'm just reading now, couldn't, right. He claims she couldn't make it because of her kids. I don't know. Is this a case of like, we've all let our imaginations go somewhere? I mean, she has this past with Thomas, listen,
Yeah.
I had Kathryn on. I think I have a soft spot for Kathryn. I really liked her.
Well,
But yeah. I mean, these women all get procedures. I mean, I get procedures, no shame. Yeah, she says she didn't want to address it. Do you not want to talk about the surgery you're getting or like?
I mean, I hope it's that and not something more sinister, right? Nobody seems to have any idea. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. She does seem to be missing, it sounds like, a fair amount from this season. To your point, season events. People have reportedly asked Dennis what happened, but she said she was not permitted to talk about it. The reality star would not confirm if she was assaulted or had an accident, according to 3 different sources. People have, I guess, Fitz News published an article, each of the close-up pictures displaying bruising under her eyes with the injury slightly more pronounced above the right cheekbone. And again, they just said that there is no comment, so nobody knows.
Listen, that is where you get filler. You get filler right here in your upper cheek. But the weird thing, well, I guess it's not weird, but like they said it was very common for her to do her makeup for daytime shoots, but for the one shoot that she did when the network, like normally they would have done her makeup for this particular type of shoot, and they noticed she had an unusual amount of foundation on in an effort to cover the area around her eye. And it was noticed by production and her management. So what does this mean? This triggered a meeting between Kathryn and the producer. The source claimed the meeting transpired in a vehicle with the windows rolled up and doors closed. I don't know. This is all. Look, let's just put this on the radar and we all hope it's nothing. It's very sus. It's very sus. I couldn't hear what was said, but Kathryn was tearing up during the conversation, shared the insider. I don't know, guys. I really don't know what to say about this one. Do you think Rinna wants $2 million just as her way of saying, like, they didn't meet my salary if they fire her, which I'm not convinced is happening anymore. I'm not. Oh, and then before we go, we need to talk about the skunk Giselle.
What did Giselle do?
I'm not calling her a skunk. She can't. These girls, they're Candy Gal is at it again. Our Candy Gal is at it again. So I guess, the season's coming back. It's back. She posted one of her reunion looks, and Candy Gal has come out on social, I think Twitter. It's either Twitter or Instagram, but I think it's Twitter, and says the network has a responsibility to step in when our interview looks are criminally offensive because my God, today. And then she shows a picture of Jizzy Jizz, Miss Giselle. And then the Grande Dame has added a comment. This happened like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. She said, you gotta love her, you gotta love her skunk hair design and all. So it's two different colors on this. So the Grande Dame has called Giselle a skunk, and Candy Gal has called her look criminally offensive, and the network should be ashamed.
Well, Candy Gal we adore Candy Gal, and she knows how she's on par with Bethany and Renna in the way she plays this game. She's a genius. They're not going to step in. It's sort of Giselle's thing now that her fashion is bad. I mean, if I were Giselle, I wouldn't change a thing because it gets people talking.
Keep it, girl.
That's, this season of Potomac is going to be really, I mean, I don't know. I'm actually on the fence. They had such a crazy season last season. I mean, we'll see what's going on with the divorce with Ashley and Michael Darby. I mean, what's interesting is I don't know, it doesn't sound so drama packed. They've bought a house together somewhere, I think in Virginia or Maryland. I don't know, it just that now, like I said, I've known them for years in real life. They always seemed very connected. And I don't know if this was always their plan. I'm not sure.
Wait, Ashley and Michael bought a house together?
Yeah,
since announcing the divorce?
100%. Yes. And, they lived in Arlington, Virginia, gorgeous penthouse apartment in a building that he had built.
Yeah.
You see on TV, you see that. But
and is it really the penthouse? They pan up, but we all know that doesn't necessarily mean that's the apartment you live in. It's the penthouse. Okay.
Penthouse. They live in the penthouse. And so I'll be very curious to see. I mean, they've always been kind of ride or die together, and they've always really been on the same page. I mean, I don't know. It's very fascinating to me what's going on with their relationship, but I could see this season going either way. I could see them having a rather quiet season, or I could see it not missing a beat.
Look, I mean, they could be the best friends that just move in together,
Yeah.
And like live together. And Ashley's like, yeah, I'm going to go out and bang some hot guy tonight. And Michael's like, have fun, honey. Have some good sex.
Right.
And then as we wrap up, I mean, guys, I have like a filthy mouth. I'm sorry. And a filthy mind.
I love it.
What about, do we think this whole thing that Rinna leaked her own story to Radar about the $2 million? I mean, it happened the other week, but I still can't, stop talking about it. And is this going to be her excuse if she's not asked back? Like, well, I wasn't fired. They just didn't meet my $2 million salary requirement. So they would never do the Housewives for 1.3 anymore. How dare they not give me $2 million? Is this her excuse?
I mean, I think it's brilliant. It's a genius move, right? Because it works either way for her. Shoot for the rafters. I mean, this is the most people have ever talked about her, which is kind of crazy because we've been talking about her for years. But, Rinna's really smart. Rinna knows the entertainment game for so long. And I go back to, it would not shock me if in 3 months we see all the images, the entire RHOBH cast as it currently is all back, all the same people. I mean, we just saw that with
Atlanta.
I think they've learned their lesson. I think these production companies, RHOBH is having fucking record ratings. Record. Do you think they're going to mess with that sauce unless it becomes a legal issue, which we don't know, behind the scenes with Kathy and Rinna? I think Rinna loves it. I think Kathy loves it. I think they're making so much money. I think that they're going to shoot for, I wouldn't be surprised if we see all of them back and all of them making record-breaking salaries. I think they've learned their lesson. They're not going to F with it. If it's unless legally behind the scenes there's some real shit going down.
Look, I mean, when we think we have it figured out, when we're going down the right road, they swerve left. I mean, 2 fucking Ronies. Is Ramona back? Is Sonia back? We talked for months. We talked on this very podcast.
Yes.
I said Ramona stays, Luann stays, Sonia's gonna go. This all came out of my mouth. I like on my shit. 2 Ronies. We never said that one, did we, Sarah? So We never said that one. I agree with you that I do think there's a nostalgia thing that's happening. I do think that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Maybe, maybe just Diana, if she doesn't want to come back, maybe Sheree, I had it, but like, so you're right. But maybe in an unprecedented move, they're going to say, look at the fact that no one is leaving from Atlanta is a little shocking. It wasn't their best season. It was a much better season than I initially gave them credit for. Yeah, maybe look at, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm not going to argue too hard with you on this one. I'm not, you got my interest peaked. Look, if the norm now is